Welcome to the Scenario Podcast, your guide to mental health and well-being. Each episode, we uncover practical tools, discuss expert insights, and explore how supplements can transform your mental health journey. Get ready to learn, grow, and thrive with us.
Okay, so we've all had that feeling, right? You're just staring blankly, maybe at the supplement aisle, maybe at your computer screen, totally mentally drained. Maybe you're juggling work stuff or trying to learn something new, or maybe it's just that feeling that your memory isn't quite clicking like it used to.
Oh, absolutely. That quest for staying sharp, it's universal. And, well, the brain supplement market knows it. They're definitely ready with a pill for seemingly everything.
It's huge, isn't it, this industry?
Massive. And it's
Yeah.
built on this hope, really, that the goal itself is, a good one. We're trying to find things that do basically four key things.
Okay, what are those?
Well, first, support just basic brain function. Second, nourish the actual brain cells, keep them healthy. Third, protect the brain from daily wear and tear.
Damage. Yeah.
Right. And fourth, the big one, actually improve memory and concentration.
But looking at the sources you sent over all the articles, the trial data, expert reviews, it kind of feels like the marketing dollars often outweigh the actual science.
That's often the case,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
So our mission for this deep dive is pretty clear. Take this pile of info, try to filter out the marketing fluff, and figure out what the research really says works. What's worth it?
And that filter is so important. You have to be critical because, honestly, the effectiveness is all over the map. So let's actually start somewhere, maybe unexpected.
Okay.
Let's push against the flashy ads for a second and look at the category where the evidence is actually strongest, most consistent.
Right. And this was, frankly, the biggest surprise for me going through the sources. It's not some, super expensive exotic mushroom or some rare plant extract. It's the plain old daily multivitamin.
Exactly. It's funny, isn't it? People hear nootropic or brain booster and they think high-tech, specialized compounds.
Yeah.
But these recent, really big clinical trials, we're talking major players like Harvard, Columbia University, Mass General Brigham, they came back with these remarkable findings.
Yeah.
And remarkably consistent findings.
I have to admit, I was skeptical at first. I saw multivitamins and thought, okay, that's just like basic health insurance, right? General wellness.
All right. I'm done.
But the data, especially for older adults, you can't ignore it. What was that specific memory benefit they found?
It's pretty dramatic, actually. These big trials consistently showed that taking a daily multivitamin helped preserve memory in older adults.
Reserve, okay.
And we're not talking tiny amounts.
Yeah.
One huge randomized study crunched the numbers and found the benefit was it was equivalent to slowing down cognitive aging by 2 to 3 years.
Whoa. Okay, 2 to 3 years. That's measurable. That's something you'd notice.
It's tangible, exactly. It means that, the standard bottle of daily vitamins off the shelf might hardly be giving you a more proven cognitive benefit than some really expensive specialized capsule.
So why? Do they know what in the multivitamin is doing the heavy lifting?
That's the fascinating part. They don't really know for sure if it's one single thing. These multivitamins, they have a mix of essentials, right?
Yeah, like B12, folate.
Exactly. B12, folate, zinc, vitamin D stuff. That's just vital for general cell upkeep everywhere in the body. So the thinking is, it's likely the combination. Providing this broad foundational support helps maintain brain health long term, especially if someone has some baseline nutritional gaps, which many people do.
Okay, so for foundational support, especially as we get older, the multivitamin has surprisingly strong evidence for just cognitive maintenance.
That's the takeaway, yeah.
All right, so let's shift gears. From that broad base, let's talk about the ingredients that get all the buzz, the targeted compounds.
The ones promising specific boosts, right?
Yeah, this is where it gets really interesting, I think. We found a few that seem to have some promising, maybe emerging evidence.
These are what I call the AHA ingredients. There's excitement in the research world, but they still need more study, more long-term data before we can give them a solid thumbs up.
Gotcha. First one that jumped out, and it makes sense, connects stress and memory, ashwagandha.
Yes. Ashwagandha, it's an ancient herb from Ayurvedic tradition.
Right.
And its whole mechanism seems to be about stress reduction. It might help stabilize cortisol levels, the stress hormone.
Okay.
And by doing that, it could potentially clear some of that mental fog that comes with chronic stress. So the thinking is that improves focus and memory. And that seems to apply to both younger adults and seniors.
So if your memory issues feel linked to just being overwhelmed,
Then ashwagandha shows some real potential. Yeah, worth looking into.
Then there was one with a great name, lion's mane mushroom. Sounds almost mythical.
Doesn't it? It's
Yeah.
exciting because some early studies suggest it might actually stimulate the production of something called nerve growth factor, NGF.
Nerve growth factor. Okay, what does that do?
It's involved in the health, survival, and even growth of brain cells. So if lion's mane really does boost NGF reliably,
That could physically support memory pathways.
potentially, yes. That's the hope. Then there's phosphatidylserine.
Bit of a mouthful.
It is. But it's actually a natural fat that's already concentrated in our brain tissue. Supplementing with it might improve mental performance and maybe slow down some age-related cognitive decline. Early days, but promising.
And we can't forget choline. That one seemed pretty direct.
Very direct. Choline is essential. It's a building block for acetylcholine.
The neurotransmitter.
Right, the neurotransmitter. That's absolutely critical for learning and making new memories. So boosting choline levels could, in theory, support that process.
Okay, so we have this small group, ashwagandha, lion's mane, phosphatidylserine, choline, showing some plausible mechanisms, some early positive signs.
Exactly, potential stars. But now we get to the mixed bag.
Uh-oh.
This is where we find the really popular supplements.
Yeah.
Stuff you see advertised everywhere, household names even.
But the science.
The strong, consistent science specifically for memory enhancement just isn't quite there yet for many of them.
Okay, let's start with a classic then. Ginkgo biloba. People have sworn by this for ages, right? Thinking it boosts blood flow to the brain.
It's been marketed that way forever. But when you look at the big, well-designed studies, most show really minimal effect on memory overall.
Minimal, despite the reputation.
Yeah. Maybe some tiny benefits in very specific groups, but for the general population looking for a memory boost, it's a prime example of where the hype really got ahead of the proof.
Okay. What else is in this mixed bag?
Huperzine A is another one. It shows some potential mechanistically, but we really need long-term studies on safety and actual effectiveness before it could be widely recommended.
Right, safety's key. And then, okay, this next one I think is genuinely going to surprise a lot of people listening. We're constantly told, omega-3s, fish oil, it's the ultimate brain food.
The panacea, right?
Yeah. But when you dig into the sources, looking specifically at improving memory in otherwise healthy adults, the results are called inconclusive. How can that be?
Okay, this is a really important distinction. Omega-3 fatty acids are fantastic. They're great for your heart, great for reducing inflammation throughout the body, definitely good for overall well-being.
They support brain structure.
Absolutely. By promoting healthy cell membranes and good blood flow, they support the brain's physical health, no question. But when researchers designed studies to ask, did taking this fish oil capsule make your memory recall measurably better or faster compared to a placebo in healthy people?
The results are flat.
Often, yes. They don't consistently show that specific memory boost.
But wait, if they're good for blood flow to the brain, isn't that indirectly helping memory? Why draw such a hard line that the memory results are inconclusive?
It comes down to separating general brain maintenance and targeted cognitive enhancement. Remember the multivitamin study? That showed an actual enhancement effect, a measurable slowing of age-related decline. Omega-3s are excellent for maintenance, keeping the plumbing working, if you will.
Right.
But they haven't consistently shown that they provide that extra oomph, that specific memory improvement that many healthy adults are looking for when they buy a supplement. They're still incredibly healthy, just maybe not the memory miracle pill some hope for.
Okay, that clarifies it. Foundational health versus targeted effect. Got it. Now, we've talked about what might work, what probably doesn't for memory specifically. Given how patchy the evidence is overall, we absolutely have to talk about safety, because this is where things get genuinely risky with supplements, isn't it?
This is, I'd say, the most critical thing to understand. Unlike prescription drugs, which go through years of rigorous testing before they hit the market.
Memory supplements aren't strictly regulated by the FDA in the same way.
Exactly. They fall under a different category, more like food. The oversight is much, much less stringent.
And that lack of tight regulation creates some immediate dangers for anyone buying these, right?
The two big ones, primarily.
Yeah.
First, what's on the label might not be what's in the bottle.
So it might not have the ingredient it claims, or the right dose.
Correct. Or, maybe even worse, the second risk. It could contain other things that aren't listed on the label at all. Fillers, contaminants, or even undeclared drug ingredients.
Wow. That could be harmful on its own, but then there's the interaction risk.
And that risk of drug interactions is huge.
Yeah.
especially for older adults.
Because they're more likely to be on other medications.
Statistically, yes. Many older adults are taking prescriptions for blood pressure, diabetes, heart issues, cholesterol, you name it. Throwing an unregulated supplement with unknown ingredients into that mix, it can be really dangerous.
Not to mention just basic side effects.
Right. Even if the supplement is clean, common side effects pop up, things like digestive upset, headaches, trouble sleeping, sometimes allergic reactions.
Okay, so the takeaway here is be really, really careful. Talk to your doctor.
Always talk to your doctor or pharmacist before starting any new supplement, especially if you take other medications or have health conditions. It's just not worth the risk otherwise.
So if the evidence for many pills is shaky and there are real safety concerns, this kind of shifts the focus, doesn't it?
It has to.
What does this all mean for, just daily life? If you really want a guaranteed benefit for your brain and memory, where should you put your energy, your resources?
It brings us right back to the fundamentals, the balanced, healthy lifestyle stuff. It often provides far more reliable, lasting cognitive benefits than any pill currently can. The research on this is just overwhelming.
These are the things we know work, right? The non-negotiables, like getting enough quality sleep.
Absolutely critical. Sleep is when your brain literally cleans house, clears out toxins, and consolidates the memories you made during the day.
And moving your body, regular exercise.
Yep. Boosts blood flow everywhere, including the brain, helps grow new brain cells. It's incredibly powerful.
Plus diet, eating well. You mentioned omega-3s being good for general health.
Exactly. A healthy diet rich in those good fats, fruits, vegetables, it fuels the brain properly, even if a specific fish oil pill doesn't give an acute memory boost. It's about the whole dietary pattern.
And keeping your brain active, right? Mental stimulation.
Huge. Constantly learning new things, challenging yourself, reading, puzzles, languages, new skills. It builds what we call cognitive reserve, like a buffer for your brain.
So these lifestyle factors, they're kind of the foundation, the protection, and the enhancement all rolled into one.
Beautifully put. That's exactly it. A supplement, even a potentially good one, can really only ever be a supporting player to that solid lifestyle foundation.
Okay, let's try to wrap this up then. Key takeaways for you listening.
So, to summarize what we found in the sources, the strongest, most consistent evidence for cognitive support. Surprisingly, it's the daily multivitamin, particularly for helping slow cognitive aging in older adults.
Right. Solid foundation there.
Then you have the emerging, exciting possibilities, things like ashwagandha, maybe lion's mane, but they need more research.
Keep an eye on those.
But we have to stay pretty skeptical about some really popular options like ginkgo and even omega-3s if the specific goal is just boosting memory recall rather than overall brain health.
And a quick note, if you're younger, like a teen or young adult, just remember the research on most supplements for your age group is really limited.
Very limited. Your best bet is almost always focusing on sleep, diet, and managing stress first.
Which actually leads perfectly into that final thought we wanted to leave people with.
Yeah, we talked about how stress is just terrible for cognitive function, right? It really is a memory thief.
Definitely.
And we noted that something like ashwagandha seems to work partly because it reduces stress, which then lets the brain function better.
Right. So the final question for you to think about is this. If stress is the real culprit behind a lot of everyday forgetfulness, is the best, maybe the safest, and potentially the most effective supplement actually just finding natural ways to manage your mind better, through things like meditation or getting good exercise or nailing down that sleep schedule?
Instead of trying to nourish a brain that's still kind of frazzled by chronic anxiety with just a capsule.
Exactly. Are we better off tackling the root cause, the stress, rather than just trying to supplement the symptom, the forgetfulness?
It's definitely something to mull over as you think about your own routine and what works best for you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing your sources and digging into this with us. Lots to think about. And for everyone listening, maybe go prioritize that sleep tonight.
Thanks for tuning in to the Scenario Podcast. Don't forget to visit scenario.com for more expert tips, articles, and supplements designed to support your mental health. If you enjoyed this episode, remember to subscribe and share it with a friend. Until next time, take care of yourself.